Welcome to
BerlinLife Unfiltered,
where we share the high, lows, and hilarious moments of living in Germany. I'm Shreya.
And I'm Purva. Today we are tackling with something which every expat in Germany has gone through, apartment hunting. And if you have even spent 5 minutes looking for a flat here, you know it's a competitive sport.
Seriously, it's wild. According to Berlin's Office of Statistics, around 40,000 new expats move here every year. And so, in 5 years, it's around 200,000 international residents trying to find a place to live.
That's a lot of competition. And Berlin's charm doesn't come without challenges. We are stating facts here. We checked out forums like Reddit, expat.com, Indonesian's Expat Insider Report to figure out what people actually complain about when they move here. And here's what we have found.
First up, finding an apartment. There's no surprises there, right? Around 58% of the expats in different surveys and discussions have shared that this is their biggest struggle.
And honestly, it's a jungle out there and the competition is fierce.
Second on the list is bureaucracy. So, according to the International's Expats Insider Report, 56% of the expats have shared that dealing with paperwork like Anmeldung or visa renewal is a great pain point.
And third up, language barrier, of course. Internationals also found that 50% of the expats, they feel stuck because they don't know enough German. And even in Berlin, where a lot of people do speak English, it can still get tough sometimes.
Fourth on the list is making friends. Around 55% of the people in the same Expat Insider Report said that it's hard to build connections here, especially with locals, and I would kind of agree with that.
Definitely. And last but not the least, slow internet and digital infrastructure. Speedtest Global Rankings put Germany on 34th place globally for internet speeds.
Alright, so let's move into the first challenge that we discussed, housing. So when I first moved here, I did not have the places lined up for me right away. So I booked an Airbnb for a week, and then thankfully one of my colleagues offered me his place for 3 weeks. So that gave me some time to look for something more permanent. I also gave this feedback to my employer, suggesting that how stressful this was and if they could provide some help to employees who are relocating to Berlin.
And that turned out to be a great suggestion, especially for me who moved 6 months later for the same company. And it was super helpful in the sense I was new to the country. I requested my employer if they can offer me such kind of support. They connected me to a third-party agency, and that agency will find it very helpful when you are in a different country. They will go to the viewings for the apartments for you, and they can even send the videos to you so that you have your apartment prepared and ready when you land to a new country. Yes, few things to note is there are different kind of apartment in Germany, temporary and permanent. When you move for the first time, mostly these kind of agencies will offer you temporary apartments, which are small term apartments. That means the lease will extend to at most 1 year, but it will be fully furnished, which is super convenient to be honest. The other one is permanent apartment, which you'll get time during your stay at a temporary apartment. You can look for the permanent apartments which are longer term, which can be unlimited term contract as well. And the thing is, it is possible that they will be unfurnished, but you can furnish it by yourself in the future.
So small tip, maybe ask your employer to help you to find these temporary apartments, because that will help you in your movement very smoothly. So Purva, let's get into the nitty-gritty of how do you find a permanent apartment. So there are a lot of websites like Immobilien Scout, WG Gesucht for students, because they also have listings for shared apartments. And if you're looking for something furnished, then you can go for something like Spot a Home or Home Like. Now, registration to these websites are like fairly standard as any other housing website. And is there anything else that we should talk about?
Well, like you said, registration is fairly easy process. So you just enter some details, and once you are into these applications, you want to find the apartment that you like. Of course, once you have found one, the key for applying to anything in Germany is documents, of course. Having the right ones can make or break your chances. So you should have proof of income, ID, schufa. Well, schufa, for those who do not know, is a credit reporting agency in Germany, which is usually required by landlords for assessing your credit worthiness. And yeah, maybe if you're new, you might not have it, which is fine, but it's good to have one. And after you found the apartment, you have submitted all these documents, you might want to write a polite and professional message to your landlord for applying the apartment, and in German.
Very important. It really feels like a job interview, doesn't it?
Well, no comments. Let's move on. By the way, we will share the list of websites and the application with the video so that you can find it later. We know it can be a little overwhelming in just 2 minutes.
Pro tip, don't get too picky with the location or the house, because you might have several rejections, unfortunately. But in the end, you will find something that you like. It might not be your dream place right away.
Totally agree. But now, time is to have some fun. Let's switch our gears and have a rapid fire round. Alright, here's the deal. Here's how it works. I'm gonna ask you very quick 5 questions and you're gonna do the same for me. How does that sound? Ready?
Ready.
First question coming up. What's the most German thing that you have started doing?
So there are many, but if I have to pick one, it is picking my own grocery rather than buying it online and enjoying it. What about you?
Definitely. That's a big deal sometimes, right? For me, it's cafe and kuchen time. Alright, second question. What was your biggest culture shock?
So for me, it was FKK, which is Freie Körperkultur, which means actually free body culture. So when I went to a lake, to find that everybody was nude and so comfortable was definitely a biggest cultural shock for me.
Well, to be honest, for a lot of people for that matter, right? And for me, the biggest culture shock was the Sunday shutdowns. I had no idea that I relied on running errands over weekends so much.
Okay, next one. Funniest language mistake.
Well, it's been a long time, but it's the most embarrassing and most funniest thing that has happened to me. I went to a cafe and I had to ask the directions for the restroom. And I asked the waiter, where is the toilet? That basically in German means, who is the toilet instead of where is the toilet? What about you, Shreya?
Well, for me, this is a tough one because I think it happens quite frequently. So when I'm at the supermarket or when I have to make a call for household repairs, so I always mix up things.
Classic, the last one. What is one thing that Berlin has taught you?
I think being open-minded and breaking the stereotypes. I have friends from different countries, which has allowed me to learn about new cultures and expand my perspective. What about you, Purva?
For me, one thing that I have learned from Berlin is being outside of your comfort zone. It has a lot of potential if you're really willing to go outside, and I think that's where you grow the most.
Alright, so let's bring it home. Moving to Berlin is not easy, but trust us, it's worth it.
Absolutely. Start early with your apartment process, learn a few German phrases, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
And don't forget to enjoy the process. Sure, it's stressful, but it's also an adventure.
Definitely. For anyone curious, we pulled out all the data, stats and figures in our video today from the reliable sources like Berlin's Office for Statistics, the International's Expat Insider Report, Speedtest Global Ranking, and forums like Reddit and expat.com.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you have any questions, tips, or funny expat stories, then please send them our way. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
And don't forget to tune in the next time. Until then, good luck with your apartment hunting. And remember that you are not alone in the struggle. Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen!